kind. Oh, yeah. All right now. Won't you listen? When I first met you, didn't realize I can't forget you, nor your surprise. You introduced me to my mind and left me wanting you and your kind. Oh, yeah. I love you. Oh, you know it. My life was empty, forever on a down, until you took me, showed me around. My life is green now. My life is clear. I love you sweetly. No, you can't hear. Oh, yeah, baby. Welcome to another horrid, terrible, outrageous, ridiculous episode of the apocalypse. Congratulations on choosing the apocalypse, by the way. Had you not chosen the apocalypse, Death, would not be here. But since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guy. Your humble guy, Nicholas. So good to see you again. You know it's the apocalypse when Ozzy Osbourne dies. For Ozzy Osbourne never dies. It's impossible. No matter how much drugs and alcohol you pump into the man, he just kept on ticking. That's admirable. That shows a strong constitution. So when Ozzy dies, we all bloody die. Hence the apocalypse. Let us begin, if I can find the beginning. Give me 1 second here. There's so many things. So many abominations today. So much evil. It's astounding to watch evil being demonstrated, preached, and executed on a daily basis. And so many humans are preaching that same gospel. It's astounding to watch. I'm almost there. There's so many things. I'm sorry. Okay, here we are. All right, so how else would you want to start off the day when you're, a sociopath? Then celebrate the firings of, famous comedians on late night television. That's high priority if you're in 4th grade and you have a grudge and you're the Antichrist. So let's read what he said. First thing, 10:30 a.m. The word is, and it's a strong word at that, Jimmy Kimmel is next to go in the untalented late night sweepstakes, and shortly thereafter, Fallon will be gone. Wow, he just wants everybody fired, huh? Donnie didn't like it too much when he got fired, though, in 2020. Remember that? Remember his kids crying on the tarmac? Like, the grift is over, oh my God. Little did they know, Satan was on Donnie's shoulder. And little did they know, the Rubes also had Satan on their shoulder. and they would make it all happen again. But this time, although they survived the first time, barely, a lot of us, they wanted it again. And they think it's going to go like the last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. Nope, the bill is due this time. A lot of you have already paid, and you'll pay much more. And by a lot of you, I mean the people that have your name on this. These are people with absolutely no talent who are paid millions of dollars for, in all cases, destroying what used to be great television. It's really good to see them go, and I hope I played a major part in it. That's the President of the United States starting his day off. You know, some of these comedians I like, some of them I don't like that much. But did I want to see any of them get fired? No. Am I laughing about it? No. Am I celebrating it? Am I hoping I had something to do with it, son? I guess the point I'm trying to make, because so many, I guess, just don't get it. This is not normal. This is a sociopath. This is a 3-year-old celebrating late night comedians getting fired, and he wants them all fired. Why? Because they talk about him. They tell the truth about him. The truth. They don't make shit up, son. All they do is parody what Donnie actually does, grifts, lies about, whatever the fuck he does. Again, do you people see the danger here? He's gotten reporters fired. He calls for other reporters to be fired every day. Now he wants all late night comedians fired. Why? Because they talk about him. And he's the president. What else would they talk about? The demonization of authorities, the demonization of every institution, the demonization of academia, the demonization of the arts and comedy. I heard they're going to rename the Kennedy Center after Melania. Did you know that? Because she probably thinks she's Jackie Kennedy. As if she could ever fill those fucking shoes. The ex-hooker from Slovenia. No. And Donnie thinks he's Elvis, God, the Pope, Einstein, Mr. Gandhi Peacemaker. Donnie thinks he's Abe Lincoln. I'm not joking. Again, I guess the point I'm trying to make is, what kind of fucking sociopath thinks this way, acts this way, goes about his life this way, celebrates the evil that he does? But that's what you people do as well. You celebrate the evil that he does on your behalf. Dangerous, man. And this, wanting everybody to get locked up, wanting everybody to get fired, all these are not good things to wish on people. I wouldn't want that karma to come back round on me. If you know what I'm saying. Every day, all day with this fucker. Abominations, blasphemies. Just like the story says, 1,200 some days of it. First thing in the fucking morning. That's what he's thinking about. He's also thinking, what can I say to get people's minds off of Epstein? I noticed when the real panic set in about Epstein, that's when Colbert got removed. Somebody made a phone call. Now I get that now. I should have never given them the benefit of the doubt. Phone calls were made, obviously. Donnie gave the game away. And when he says, I hope I played a major part in it, that means he played a major part in it. Again, this is just the start of the day, son. This is just one horrid abomination. Here's Mike Johnson at the podium. He was trying to explain why Congress is going to go on vacation and not vote on shit. And basically, he gave the game away too by letting us all know it's because of the Epstein thing. Everything's about the Epstein thing right now. Every move they're making. Not that a lot of it wasn't planned already, like arresting people like Barack Obama. I've been talking about that for months, that they should all get out of the fucking country. Hitler did that. This is a Reich. They're going to do the same fucking thing. I guarantee it. They've already done it to some people. Liberals in authority, judges. There was a senator on the ground and zip-tied him. If that would have been a Republican, again, that happened to, you people would be rubbing shit on the walls again. This is one of the things Mike said. I'm not going to read every single word of commentary that they gave today because that's not important. What's important is that you get the point. They want you worn out looking at 57,000 different things. I know what to look at. Trust me. I wouldn't waste your time and I wouldn't waste mine. We cannot be careless in an open release. That's Mike Johnson, the guy who doesn't have a bank account, who adopted a young boy when he was in his 30s. Very shady individual. And he says we can't be careless with an open release. Again, the Reich is who promised this shit. The Democrats weren't before the election all screaming, they better release those Epstein files, otherwise they're crooked. No, that was you people. And then they did a fake release with a bunch of podcasters. Gave you nothing. And then they told you, fuck off, we're not giving you no more. And now we're here. Where Congress is literally shut down. Going on vacation early. Because the Reich is so afraid a vote is going to go the wrong way. And they're going to have to release something. Or at least promise something. Look, it's obvious at this point that your boy is utterly dirty. If you don't care about that, then that's on your head, son. When the man comes around. And right now. If you do care about that, I suggest you get the fuck off the train, son. Right now. Because, man, I ain't seen theater like this. This is incredible. They're afraid to vote on anything. They're afraid to do anything. They're paralyzed. Donnie's throwing every piece of shit at the wall he can think of, trying to make this go away. Now Congress is even leaving the fuck town. Amazing. And again, Mikey's big quote here, we cannot be careless in an open release. Here's Donnie again. Adam Schiff is a thief. He should be prosecuted just like they tried to prosecute me and everyone else. The only difference is we were totally innocent. It was all a giant hoax, says the convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, fraud, defamer. Tried to overthrow the government, stole 3,000 classified documents. And now he's hiding the Epstein files. He flat out tells you, please stop talking about the Epstein files. Can't we talk about this or that or this? He literally says this shit out loud. I told you, Donnie's never good at hiding his intentions, his crimes, his emotions, anything. It's all on his sleeve, and he can't help but say it out loud. So let's throw the Obama squirrel up there. Let's throw the Adam Schiff squirrel, because that always works on the rubes. They just say those names and the rubes just fall in fucking line every time, all day. The problem is, rubes, you have to go into a court of law and prove a case against somebody. Many cases have been proven against Donnie. That's why he's a fucking convicted felon. Many cases have not been proven against Adam Schiff. If you think you got the evidence, son. Take shift to court and prosecute it. Not with one of your hack judges either. The reason they don't do that is they can't win. Now that Donnie got everyone scared, now that every 5 minutes a threatening phone call is going out to people's families, maybe Donnie will get his wish and all these people will get locked up and a judge will co-sign it. But it's coming, I'm telling you. That day where he just arrests people. Doesn't have to be a crime. That's irrelevant. You think the rubes give a fuck if a liberal committed a crime? Absolutely not. That's why our country's over. Because they didn't care. They voted for the felon, the rapist, Epstein's best fucking friend on top of it. How many people have said that out loud in broadcasts recently that knew these people? I'm talking about that were right there. Epstein's brother said it. A woman that dated Epstein or Donnie, I can't remember, said it just recently. Everyone knows this. They were buddies. They were pals. You heard the letter in the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal didn't print no fucking retraction either, son. They were the best of friends. The one woman, I can't remember, she was dating Donnie or Epstein. That's right. She said the only people Epstein mentioned, so she was dating Epstein, were Donnie and Ghislaine. That's it. Only people he ever talked about around her. So yeah, the Adam Schiff squirrel isn't a squirrel. It doesn't exist. The Obama squirrel isn't a squirrel. It doesn't fucking exist. It's just a wall covered in shit that Donnie threw. So you stop looking at what you're supposed to be looking at. What he's afraid of. What he's begging the whole world to stop talking about. Epstein, of course. This type of shit, I mean, as the president of the United States, you have a lot of sway. When you accuse someone of a crime and then say, I'm going to lock them up or they should be locked up, it's so beyond inappropriate. Here's Mike Johnson again. We're not going to play political games with Epstein. No one's playing any political games, son. You people made the promises to the rubes that are all into this Epstein, Pizzagate, all the bullshit. And then the rubes said, okay, where is it? And you guys said, oh, fuck you, it doesn't exist. After Miss Bondi bragged about it being on her fucking desk. After you bragged about 1,000 FBI agents going through it. If nothing exists, what the fuck were the 1,000 agents for, son? Well, we know now to find Donnie's name and get it the fuck out of there. That's what they were for. Literally. So political games, rubes, that's what everyone's doing right now by asking for the Epstein information. According to Mikey Johnson, who doesn't have a bank account. Speaker of the House. What kind of shady shit does a Speaker of the House have going in his life? I know what it is. I'm not going to say it, but I know what it is. Where you can't even have a bank account because you don't want anyone to be able to track anything you do. That's how, let's put it this way, behind closed doors Mr. Mikey Johnson is. He really don't want you to see what he doing. Again, he's Speaker of the House. At that point in life, son, you should have a bank account in your name. No justification for not having one. I'm sorry. Nothing legitimate anyway. Here's the misery that is Tom Homan on MSNBC. The masks, I think, are important. How do we get rid of the masks? Stop the hateful rhetoric. Hold on. There shouldn't be masks in the first place. That's North Korea. That's Nazi Germany type shit. That's Russia type shit. That's China type shit. We don't do that here. Until Donnie. Stop the hateful rhetoric. I specifically mean members of Congress. If members of Congress can compare ICE to the Nazis, that gives some of these people on the far left, it emboldens them to take action. How fucking dare this fat piece of shit whose own family can't stand him, and you people, make this argument over and over again. I am so sick of hearing this argument. Don't call people traitors. Don't call people Nazis. Don't call us this. Don't call us that. When you are that, that's the problem. When you try and overthrow the government, you're a fucking traitor. That's what Donnie did. That's why they call him that. When you do a Nazi salute, you're a Nazi. That's what Donnie did. That's what he does with his every word and action. When you raise the Nazi salute again, like Leon did, you're a Nazi. Look, I'm a student of history. I don't care what you fucking people are. I'm going to tell you right now what's being built before your eyes. A Reich in the image of 1933 Germany. That's what's being assembled right before your fucking eyes. Fuck everything else I say, all the commentary. That is what's happening. These people are Nazis. They did the salutes. They live it out every day. And they are building a Reich right in front of you in the straight up literal image of 1933 Germany. Every day they get closer to completion. That's what's going on. So how dare you fucking people and this fat fuck and the whole Reich sit there like babes in the fucking woods, and when people call you Nazis because you're in favor of concentration camps, masked men with machine guns kidnapping people, and your own military on your own streets, you fucking morons, then guess what you is? You're a dictator. You're a Nazi. You want a king. You want authoritarianism. You think that's not going to touch you, son. Oh, I promise it will. It's touched so many of you already. Farm bankruptcy's up higher than ever. And I know 9 out of 10 of you voted a certain way. You voted for eviction. Awesome. That's great. We tried to warn you, though. But you knew better, son. So again, I'm so sick of these evil satanic Nazi cunts that I've watched for 10 years act like babes in the wood. Don't call us Nazis as they're literally building a Reich, as they're literally sending men out for 1,000, 1,500 a body to kidnap people. And U.S. citizens have been kidnapped, yes, and they've been in facilities for days. That has already happened. That could be you. Eventually it will be you, because they're going to get to the point where they can grab you, where that's normal. Donnie wants everybody fired and in prison, anyone that dares say anything. What do you think that means for you? When the Reich says you fucked up, that means you go too, son. That's where all this is going. I know, troops on the streets, concentration camps, masked men, kidnapping. It's all fun and games, right? It's all fun and games till it comes knocking on your door. And it will, I promise you. Unbelievable, you people, literal hands of Satan, but don't call us Satan. Don't call us Nazis as we preach the gospel of concentration camps. As we take selfies at the entrance. Boy, when the man comes around, listen to that Johnny Cash song. Every MAGA person should. When the man comes around. He's definitely going to come around to you. Breaking news. This is a New York Times. Johnson shutting down House early to block Epstein vote. The New York Times literally bluntly stating at risk of legal peril that Mikey Johnson is literally shutting down Congress to not have an Epstein vote. Do you people feel like Marx yet? Because you should. You should have felt like Marx, I don't know, like 9.5 years ago. You voted for Epstein's best friend. It's indisputable. It's irrefutable. But you knew this already. You were just hoping we wouldn't know. We'd never get the evidence, even though we've had it for years. That's what really gets you, I know. Here's Miss Bondi, and I'm not even going to read the whole thing. It's a whole statement by her, and here's the gist. You ready? They're going to have a sit down with Ghislaine. I wonder if Miss Bondi herself will be there. Ghislaine all of a sudden wants to talk to them. They all of a sudden want to talk to Ghislaine. They didn't give a fuck about her before. But they got to play this charade out for the rubes, because the rubes are getting wise to the fact that they're hiding the files on them. And they're getting mad about it. Here's the thing, Ghislaine. I wouldn't be too eager to meet with Donnie's Department of Justice. In fact, I'd be downright afraid of it. Because the last time that happened, your boyfriend died. The next day, I believe. So, you know, I'd be real careful of the moves being made here, and the fact that they want to talk to her. They wanted to talk to Jeffy too. And they did. And then he was dead. So the fact that Miss Bondi or her subordinate wants to go talk to Ghislaine, we've seen this already. We've seen this once. We've danced this dance before, remember? I wonder what the fuck's going to happen this time. And shouldn't it make you scratch your head, Rubes, that all of a sudden Miss Bondi and the DOJ wants to talk to Ghislaine? Remember why we're here. Because they promised you the files. They gave you nothing in phase 1. They said there's going to be a phase 2. We got 1,000 agents looking at everything. Oh shit, Donnie's name's on every page. Fuck, what do? We tell them it doesn't exist and tell them to fuck off. So we went from it doesn't exist, fuck off, to now the Department of Justice needs to talk to Ghislaine. And the last time Donnie's Department of Justice talked to someone involved in the Epstein case, the guy died the next day. That's all you need to know. Here's Donnie in the Oval. My God. The name Obama, Hillary, just nonstop spoke those names. Why? Because he knows every time he speaks those names, the rubes, the ears get bigger and bigger, and they just get madder and madder. They have no idea why. They can't name a crime committed or prove it in court, but they just need to hear the names. And Donnie knows how stupid you are, because he's stupid too. So he keeps repeating those names as he withholds the files full of his name, called the Epstein files. Here's a reporter. Gabbard has submitted a criminal referral. Who should the DOJ target? Oh, I should show you what this all looked like. All the gaudy gold in the bound. It's so cringe to watch. And every word that comes out of his mouth, I just keep thinking, he's just saying this so we're not talking about Epstein. He's willing to lock people up to hide the fact that he's a fucking pedophile. That's how dangerous this fuck is. Again, more quotes. Again, look at the gaudy gold. Everything's got to be gold. One of the ways I know he's the Antichrist. Must always glorify himself. Always. Every second of the day. We caught Hillary Clinton. We caught Barack Hussein Obama. You ought to take a look at that and stop talking about nonsense. The nonsense he's talking about, Rubes, is the Epstein stuff. Again, you have a 4-year-old child giving the game away saying, please stop talking about my crimes and the fact that I'm a pedophile. Talk about this squirrel I got running in front of you. Look at it. It's jumping. It's doing flips and shit. Look at it. In other words, he doesn't do a very good job of hiding intent. He gives the game away. So at this point, I'm going to have the opinion of every MAGA person that they know he's a pedo at this point. Even though they probably knew it before. So again, he said this about 50 different times over the past few weeks. Stop talking about that Epstein stuff and talk about this. That should tell you all you need to know. Here we go again. All the gaudy gold. Look, I mean, my God. We found absolute, irrefutable proof that Obama was seditious, says the traitor to his nation that tried to overthrow the government. Obama was trying to lead a coup, says the guy who literally led a coup. And it was with Hillary Clinton. Wait, was Bill there too? Was Soros there? Like, again, he just pulls shit straight out of his diaper and he presents it to you and you take it as gospel or at least use it as a talking point. Because it's really hard for me to believe that any MAGA person at this point is innocent, doesn't know what they're doing, what they're endorsing. I can't believe a one of you is still at that point. Legitimately, genuinely, no. Donnie, again, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly. He's guilty. This was treason, says the man who committed treason. And we all watched it on television. And then he committed espionage when he stole the 3,000 documents that I guarantee he gave to somebody. It's time to go after people. I got more context on that comment a little later as well. Says the Antichrist, I should say that. Been caught doing what, Donnie? How's he guilty? How is it treason? Let's present this statute and then apply something against it and see if it, holds water. Nah, just make a vague statement like that. Preach the gospel of throwing an ex-president in prison that has committed no crime. Donnie's not an ex-president that has committed no crime, by the way. He doesn't fall in that category. And we all know that, especially the rubes. So let's not play that game either. They're not the same individual. Obama wasn't looking to grift every 5 seconds. Obama was not trying to turn your country into Nazi Germany, literally. Not whatsoever, even though you thought he was, even though you preached that gospel because Hannity told you to. You're not smart enough to come up with it yourself. I know that. I didn't see concentration camps. I didn't see masked men with machine guns going into Home Depots. I didn't see our military on our streets. I didn't see Obama, celebrating late night comedians getting fired. I didn't see Obama in pictures with Epstein. I didn't see him in the flight logs. Here's Donnie again, another quote. They have him stone cold. It was President Obama. It wasn't lots of people all over the place. The leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? Yeah, he's not deflecting at all, right? Right, Rubes? Maybe he should say Obama a few more times. This statement right here shows to me how stupid he thinks you are. He thinks if he just repeats that name, it's good enough for you. And for a lot of you, it is. That's the sad part. That's why our country's gone. Forever. Never coming back. No Democrat's going to come in and save you this time. I'm sorry. You're going to be left with the misery and ash you have wrought. No Obama, no Biden, no Jimmy Carter, no nobody. Just the ash of what used to be fucking America. That's what we got to look forward to. Guaranteed. Nothing will stop it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Sad, that's all they had to do. Hannity, Ingram, Donnie, all of them. All they had to do is repeat them names you don't like, boy. And you handed your country right over and parroted the talking points in the dying days of your empire. Fucking sad, man. Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, David Oscar Marcus, tells CNN, I can confirm that we are in discussions with the government and that Ghislaine will always testify truthfully. Sure she will. We are grateful to President Trump for his commitment to uncovering the truth in this case. The truth, my ass. Ghislaine, once out of prison, she'll say and do anything to make that happen. So this is what I expect if they have her come testify before Congress. She'll verify the fact that Donnie's name, nowhere in the files, Donnie had nothing to do with any of it. She'll vouch for him. And we'll just all go about our day, and Ghislaine will get a part. That's what I expect to happen. Or he just whacks her. But I have a feeling it's going to go the pardon route, because whacking both of them gets a little obvious, doesn't it? Even for a mob boss. Here's Donnie again. Here's a little, wider shot. You get to see who was all in the room and the gaudy gold. Do you support the DOJ seeking a new interview with Ghislaine Maxwell? Donnie got a little caught off guard by that. I don't know anything about it. First instinctive move when Donnie's unsure, make sure I say I don't know nothing about it. But I think it's something that sounds appropriate. I don't follow that much. Yeah, right. It's sort of a witch hunt. Just a continuation of the witch hunt. Where did that come from? Now Epstein and Ghislaine are a witch hunt? No. Donnie meant coming after him is the witch hunt part. That's why he started his answer with, I don't know anything about it. Distance himself from it first. Then, in other words, Donnie heard in the question, he heard some allegation against him. That's what his psyche heard. He responded as if the question was that, some allegation against him. That's why he started off with, I don't know anything about it. That's why he ended it with just a continuation of the witch hunt. Donnie's a witch. I'm sorry to break it to you. Amazing. Donnie is a perfect study for a psychiatrist to understand what a 70-year-old sociopath with a God complex, how they act and think, and what they say. Oh, this is Midas Touch, and they did a little breakdown of all Donnie's interview, I guess you could call it, in the White House. Don't talk about Epstein. Arrest all my political opponents. I'm not mad. I'm not guilty. Obama. Great synopsis. That's basically what happened. And what does all that add up to? A bunch of shit on the wall trickling down that Donnie threw there in hopes you don't look at Epstein. Again, more context on some of his earlier comments. Again, look how great he looks with all the gaudy gold and shit around. This is like proof, irrefutable proof that Obama was seditious, that Obama was trying to lead a coup, says the person who led a literal coup. And it was with Hillary Clinton, with all these other people. Who are these other people? But Obama headed it up. This is the biggest scandal in the history of our country. What have I been saying for months now? Inversion of reality. God hates that. Because you can't do anything with a person that inverts reality. One of the worst inversions of reality a human can be guilty of is calling good evil and evil good. And really extending that out to apply it to God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit, that they're of the devil. That was said. That's in Scripture. People said that out loud to Jesus Christ if he lived. And Christ told them, that's the unpardonable sin, what you just did there. Calling the Holy Spirit of Satan. Inversion of reality. Those are my words. Inversion of reality. So if you blaspheme the Holy Spirit or invert reality to such a degree, it's unforgivable. Now, I believe you can repent of it, but you best not go to your grave without repenting of that one. Because it's unforgivable. It's unpardonable. That's what Christ said anyway. Again, the unpardonable sin, look it up, and it's not suicide. So the Catholic Church can, go F itself with that. Nowhere in Scripture does it say that if you commit suicide, you're guaranteed hell. Nope. Blaspheme the Holy Spirit, say it's of Satan. Take the mark. Not accept Jesus Christ. Not my rules, but they are the rules as I understand them anyway. And again, it's so sad that he can just mention these names. Yeah, they all sat in a room together and they plotted how to ruin Donnie and cost him the 2020 election. Obama didn't have better things to do, like, $1 million in a speaking engagement. Unbelievable. Here's a brilliant meme someone made. An Epstein blue wave coming to wash over Donnie and the files at the top of the wave. Excellent work. Really epitomizes what's going on right now. Donnie's running from that wave. And we all know he's guilty. And it's not the same kind of guilty as when you're watching Fox News and they're calling Biden guilty. It's not that kind of guilty. He's really guilty, Donnie. That's why he doesn't want to give you the files. What other reason would there be, son? Again, giving more context on it's time to go after people. He said this before it. Whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Because before he said that, he talked about how he knew Hillary did something horrible. He knew about it, but he let it go. But now, whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Exactly. I'm tired of being right. I don't want to be, I want to wake up and be wrong. But I'm always right about the bad, horrible things. Not everything, just the horrible things. With this motherfucker especially. I told you he'd go after people, right? He'd arrest liberals in government, in society that did not commit crimes. He's flat out telling you right now. Whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Why? Because I'm in hot water over the Epstein stuff. That's why. And I was planning on going after people anyway. So why not do it now? The guy's openly talking about locking up Barack Obama. Proves every goddamn thing I ever said about him. And again, the inversion of reality with you people and these people. Stephen Miller calls the people in LA insurrectionists against the government when Stephen Miller literally took part in an insurrection. Donnie literally incited an insurrection, tried to install himself as dictator. Yet they use these terms just like the fucking devil on everybody else. Inversion of reality intentionally with an agenda. What do you do with a human being that inverts reality? They are worthless. You can do nothing with them. You can't have a conversation, relationship, anything. If you say the sky is blue, well, it used to be anyway. And they say, no, it's green all the time. What are you talking about? Because if they agree with you that it's blue, Donnie goes to jail for being a pedophile. That means they have their name on a pedophile. They can't have that. Their psyche and their whole identity, they cannot have that. They need to believe that God loves them and they're doing the right thing and they're on the right side of it when they're literally the hand of Satan. Again, inversion of reality, using all the crimes, the words for the crimes Stephen Miller and Donnie and others have committed and projecting them onto other people intentionally, just like Hitler would. That's the game, son. We've been living in for 10 fucking years. They cranked it up a notch for the second term, though. Donnie got the full spirit now. Whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. I don't hear no crimes mentioned there again. Not that you rubes care. You voted for a fucking convicted felon. Fuck you care about crime. Trump just called the Epstein case a witch hunt and called for the prosecution of Obama and Clinton, calling her the ex-wife of a president. Here's a quote from Donnie. There should be very severe consequences. Whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama has been caught directly. It's criminal at the highest level. Yes, we know, Donnie, you staged a coup. We know. And the reason Donnie's yelling about people cheating during elections for the past 10 years is because Donnie cheated in every election. Every single one. How do I know that? Donnie keeps pointing the finger at other people. Donnie does nothing but project and invert reality. That's why he's telling it, everyone else is staging a goddamn coup except for him, who literally staged one and we watched it on fucking television as he intentionally held back help while he ate hot wings, him and Chris Miller. Unbelievable. I can't believe I'm reading these things and some abomination has said them out loud. And that abomination has the fucking nuclear codes. We are fucking doomed. Thanks, Rubes. You too. I'm not just talking about liberals or me. We, son. That's you and me. Don't matter what you believes. Doesn't fucking matter. We are doomed. You chose it, and the greedy at the top chose it. Holy fucking shit. Barack Hussein Obama is the ringleader. Hillary Clinton was right there with him, and so was Sleepy Joe. Wow, they were all three in a room together, huh? That's believable, right, Roops? Comey, Clapper. So what, all five of them were in a room together doing this? They tried to rig an election and they got caught. No. Donnie tried to rig an election 3 times. And then they did rig the election in 2020. And then because I knew I won that election by a lot, I did it a 3rd time and I won in a landslide. My God, if these people in the Reich, and Donnie especially, if they only had the drive to help people that they have to lie, cheat, and steal, imagine what they could do. They might actually be benefits to society and not complete, abject wastes of fucking oxygen, drain on resources that us non-sociopaths could use. I'm sorry, this thing has to be the Antichrist. I've never seen anything like this level of inversion, except again for maybe Vlad, Adolf Hitler, people like that. This one's supposed to be worse than all of them. That's horrifying, knowing that. And I've known that for decades. I just didn't know who it was or when they were coming. He's supposed to be worse than them all. All the ones you've heard throughout time, Nero, etc. And my God, the things the Caesars and Nero did for fun. It gets more sick and depraved and sociopathic and evil and satanic and Nazi by the fucking day. Here's Nick Fuentes again talking enormous shit, talking shit and very strongly, I must say. This is because the Department of Justice released the MLK files instead of the Epstein files. Really? Fuck you. You bury the Epstein files and lie to our faces that it's a Democrat hoax. Now here's some MLK files. Isn't this what you wanted? Fuck you. You're lying to our face. You're just giving us the finger and rubbing it in our faces. Damn. I thought I was rough. That dude was MAGA. You know, he's down with the Nazis and shit. I voted for Epstein's best friend. Look, the new MAGA hat coming out. Check it out. They're trying to make it a positive, like, you know, wearing diapers and shit. Remember that? They wore diapers for a little bit. Trying to make an adult wearing a shitty diaper a positive thing. No, I'm just joking. This is just a meme. But that's what MAGA means now. Every red hat you see, that's what it means. That's part of the cult now. That's part of what you stand for. I voted for Epstein's best friend. Literally. Not an acquaintance. Not Epstein had better friends and more close friends. No. His best friend. Literally. That's what you voted for. But you knew this. We told you way before this last election. The evidence came out years ago. You didn't care. Ouch. That's going to hurt, son. This line, he had the leader of Philippines there or something. In a few months, we'll have more ammunition than any country has ever had. We're going to have more missiles than any country has ever had. Again, this is what it looks like. He's sitting there with the leader of the Philippines, I believe. Now, I know America has more weapons than the entire universe. And stockpiles, and we have it all. Believe me. Now we have the Antichrist saying, oh, but we're getting all new shit. We're going to stockpile even more missiles. I know what he has planned. Either the whole world rolls over or they get blitzkrieged. That's what Hitler did, right? So when I hear him make comments like that, we're going to have more than the country's ever had. That's the plan. That tells me, yeah, you're right about him regarding that as well. He intends to use the military in major fucking ways. He's already bombed 3 countries. He wants Canada, he wants Greenland, he wants Gaza, he wants Mexico, Suez, Panama Canal. And more, I'm sure. Only one way he's getting all that. The military, that's it. So when I hear the Antichrist make statements like that, well, it reminds me of where it's all going. You think all this Epstein and locking Obama and Hillary shit up is bad, son. Wait till we get to the World War III part. With the Antichrist, with the nuclear codes, for fuck's sake. I don't even want to think about it. Life is miserable enough, isn't it? And the most important news of the day, fuck the Reich, fuck this world and everything in it. But this happened. Ozzy Osbourne died. I told you recently, if I thought, and I'm not the biggest Black Sabbath fan, like I'm not a person that's always listening to their music. I was listening to it since I was 17, but I'm not one of those people that knows every song, every single word, blah, blah, you know what I mean? Like I do for like Pearl Jam or something like that. But I thought to myself, as I'm sure maybe you have at some point in your life, if I had to go to a desert island, what am I taking with me? One band, that's all I get. And I thought about it, even though I can sing, damn near every Pearl Jam song because I've listened to them 1,000,000 times. The ones I like, anyway. Or Nirvana or Soundgarden or whatever, that's more my era because of my age. I have to take Black Sabbath. One reason is every single band I like utterly ripped off Black Sabbath. I don't care that they did that. They put their own spin on it. Metallica too, they utterly ripped off Black Sabbath. Tool, pretty much any rock band you can name. First heavy metal band ever. Nobody else, not Judas Priest, no, fuck off with that. How do I know? Because so many bands sound like Black fucking Sabbath in their own way. They don't sound like Judas fucking Priest. So the first actual heavy metal band, Black Sabbath. And again, so many bands I listen to so much more, know more of their work. Yet if I had to go to a desert island, I'm thinking, what's the coolest thing I could bring as musically? Black Sabbath, of course. Um, as far as a singer, he was much more talented than people gave him credit for. You know how I know that? When I try and sing his songs, they're not easy. It's a very kind of odd pitch. Very difficult. Very high pitch. In a strange way. And I thought, well, who's the coolest band ever? And I just immediately Black Sabbath. Even compared to Soundgarden, Nirvana, and all of them. I don't care. Hendrix. And Hendrix, I think, was like the best guitar player ever. Iommi, I believe, would be in the top 10. Ever. Phenomenal talent. All of them, the drummer, the bass player, guitar player, singer, just all of them. What I think is coolest frontman too, when I think who, Chris Cornell, Kurt Cobain, Eddie Vedder, Ozzy Osbourne, Robert Plant, Ozzy, every day, all day. Coolest band in general. Rock, of course. Or heavy metal, whatever you want to call it. Black Sabbath. They just win every category for me. And again, I'm not a person that knows every single word. My point is that's the level of talent we're dealing with. And that's how much all four of them, and especially Ozzy, were loved. What I find fascinating about his life is he led such a cool life. It had a lot of problems, yeah. But the guy just wanted to perform, and he did. Till the last second. And he got to have that nice moment right before he left. And he also did a very good deed with that moment. A very Christ-like deed. Raised like $190 million for charity. With that concert. So he got to have that concert where every musician from the last fucking 50 years was bowing at his feet like, we love you. A damn near worship like, you made us all what we are. There was no fighting. There was no arguing. There was, you know what I mean? It was nice. His daughter got proposed to in front of, it was just nice, man. So he got to have his last day. He got to have his last concert. He didn't drag on for 15 more years and just deteriorate and deteriorate. He had his last really nice moment. And what that really showed me about him, again, I told you then, was this man is beloved. Like, he is loved. You don't see that too often. Yes, there's famous people that die and a lot of people show up for an event or whatever. You could tell this was different. This man was loved by a lot of people. Very rare to see in this world. So he got to have his last concert where every great musician, that's still alive paid tribute to him. And, took pictures and said hello, and everybody was cool. Even Axl and Jim Hetfield got along. And he got a little time after that, and then he passed on. My God, what a brilliant legacy, what a brilliant life he got to live, even with all the mistakes. And just every damn category I think of. Just coolest band ever in general. I gotta give it to him. And the other three, of course. So sad to see him go. I knew it was a shitty day for a reason. I found out in the middle of the day when I heard Ozzy died. Still, what a fascinating life. So many great fucking songs with this guy. Just incredible. And again, if I had to go to a desert island, even though there's other bands I know way better and listen to way more, I gotta take Black Sabbath. It's a must. It's a must. Anyway, back to the apocalypse and the Antichrist. Yeah, you know it's the apocalypse when Ozzy dies, right? Breaking news, Donnie. We have just achieved a big and important win in our historic lawsuit against 60 Minutes, CBS, and Paramount. Just like ABC, George Slopadopoulos. I didn't catch that the first time I read it. CBS and its corporate owners knew that they defrauded the American people and were desperate to settle. He means him, not the American people. Paramount, CBS, 60 Minutes have today paid $16 million in settlement, and we also anticipate receiving $20 million more from the new owners in advertising PSA's similar program for a total of over $36 million. This is another in a long line of victories over the fake news media who are I'm not even going to read the rest of this. What does it come down to? More tribute given by major companies and news agencies to the Antichrist, to Donnie. How's your mortgage and rent doing? How's your car doing? How's your bank account looking? Are you okay? Because Donnie's raking in billions a day, grifting, tribute, etc. Is that normal? No. I've never seen the oligarchy and people bend over to pay tribute to this thing. That's how I know this thing is different. So more tribute to Donnie via settlements. That's the new way now. Everyone's gotten the message. They know Donnie sues you if he's mad at you. You settle with him for, anywhere from 1 million to 100 million. And then he says he gets a victory in court. And he gets to pocket that money. And you don't get jack shit again. This is a fake letter that someone made on the internet and started circulating it, that Jerome Powell had resigned. That's his fake signature with the seal and all that. So that was going around for a minute. And I almost fell for it. And then I saw this. And the thing is, Mike Lee, I believe, is a congressman. He posted the letter as if it was real, Jerome Powell resigning, because he's a fucking idiot. Jerome Powell did not resign. It wouldn't surprise me if he did, though, because, again, the threats to the families are going out. Believe me. By the Reich. Statement from Ozzy Osbourne's family. It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time. He was definitely loved. This is Obama making a statement. I don't believe Obama's ever done this before. Directly address Donnie or an allegation by Donnie. Out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. Oh, Obama, you should have went far enough as to say distraction from Epstein. You might as well. He's going to arrest you one of these days, Mr. Obama. Do you know that? I'm serious, son. He's going to arrest you. And Hillary, and Adam Schiff, and others. This is a right, Mr. Obama. You were a Harvard law scholar, were you not? So you're a lot smarter than me. You don't know what you're seeing? Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the Bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then Chairman Marco Rubio. Great point, Mr. Obama, but you're still going to get arrested. Why? Because Donnie's the Antichrist, and he's a Nazi. So's Leon. So are a lot of the sycophants around Donnie. They're trying to build a Reich. The liberals are in the way. He's already talking about arresting you. Where the fuck you think it's going next, Mr. Obama? Again, you're a Harvard Law. You were the head of Harvard Law, weren't you? You best take this seriously. Hitler arrested all the liberals. These people are Nazis just like Hitler. They believe the same thing. They're trying to revive the Reich. Literally, I'm not joking. It ain't my gospel, son. It's theirs. They preaching it. They executing it. Every second of every day. So where does this go next? Well, it goes to arresting liberals next. Again, here's Donnie giving the game away, telling you what not to talk about. This is a post by Donnie from his True Social Money Laundering. We have the greatest 6 months of any president in the history of our country, and all the fake news wants to talk about is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Wait a minute. Again, you cunts promised you were going to release it, the Reich, before the election. Then you said you're going to release it after the election. Then you released phase 1. Then you told your own people to fuck off, and you told them they're weak and pathetic and doing liberals' work if they want the Epstein files. Here again, he's saying all the fake news wants to talk about is the Epstein hoax. No, that's what the populace wants to talk about. Hence, the news is talking about it. So here again, the 4-year-old sociopathic God complex child is telling the whole world, please stop talking about my crimes with Epstein. Look at the squirrel. And unfortunately for us, that thing is president. Some concentration camp news. The Trump admin awarded a $1.3 billion contract to erect a 5,000-bed tent camp. Tent camp. Same thing down in the Florida swamp. And didn't they get, this ridiculous amount of money? You know what I'm thinking, people? I'm thinking a lot of that money is going in people's pockets because it don't cost that much to build a tent camp. Just a thought. 5,000-bed tent camp in what will be the largest immigration detention facility in the country. So, yay, we're building another new concentration camp with your money, of course. And it's going to be the biggest one ever. Isn't that great? America's really going in a positive direction. It's not a Reich at all. When concentration camps are being openly funded and discussed and built and filled. Do you know how over your country is, son? It's so far over. And again, I know you've heard that over the years when Reagan won, when Bush Sr. won, when Clinton won, when Bush Jr. won, when Obama won. You heard it all by all these different pundits. Fuck all of it. It was worthless. It was nothing until Donnie came along. That's when you should have started listening. And if the concentration camps, multiple now, don't convince you, I don't know what will. The Trump administration just awarded Virginia-based Acquisition Logistics a $1.26 billion contract to operate a 5,000-bed tent camp on Fort Bliss in El Paso. The company previously got just $29 million in DoD contracts over 5 years. Now it'll run the largest detention camp in the U.S. One more time, that's Acquisition Logistics. Is El Paso in Texas? Of course, they would get the money, the over $1 billion in Texas, right? Again, let me just say this one more time. The largest concentration camp ever is being built with your money. They gave $1 billion of it away in welfare to a company to build a tent concentration camp facility. This is now the second one or third one. Yes, you're hearing people say that out loud. Do you know what that means, son? When you hear people say that out loud, that your country is over and it's never coming back. A random picture of Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know how that got in there. Another random picture of Ozzy Osbourne with a little child. I don't know who the child is. House Republicans on the Oversight Committee have officially voted to subpoena Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, seeking her testimony under oath. The motion, introduced by Rep. Tim Burchett and backed by Chair James Comer, passed unanimously. Why all of a sudden they're so eager to talk to Ghislaine? And it passed. That tells me someone gave their blessing. Maxwell, currently serving a 20-year sentence in federal prison, would be required to testify as part of Congress's renewed investigation into Epstein's trafficking operation. Let me guess what she'll say. In exchange for a pardon, of course. Coordinating her appearance will require working with the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Prisons. Meanwhile, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche has confirmed that he will meet with Maxwell in the coming days to discuss potential cooperation. Meet, you say? Kind of like Bill Barr met with Jeff? Again, random picture of Ozzy that just slipped in there again. Same picture. I don't know how it got in there twice. Oh, this is great. GM. Because remember, it's all about American companies and boosting that and bringing manufacturing. No, it's about grifting. Even Fox News is now admitting that Donald Trump's tariffs have decimated the American auto industry. This is remarkable. This is a remarkable turn of events. Yes, GM basically came out today and said the tariffs are killing our business. Killing it. This is the American car company, right? Or is that Ford or both? Not that any of it's all made in America, but whatever. Again, I thought Donnie was supposed to be helping business. No, he's just grifting, and that tariff money is his. That's why he loves tariffs so much. Killing a huge car company for the grift, a worthy sacrifice. Just like you and I are a worthy, perfectly acceptable, reasonable sacrifice for any, extra dollar Donnie can steal. Here's an update from one prisoner from one of the death camps. Oh, Alligator Auschwitz. His hands and feet were then painfully shackled. He was put in a 4x4 foot square in the recreation yard that he says guards call the box. He says he was directly in the Everglades sun and heat for several hours with no water. That'll kill you, son, being in that. You can't get into some shade. I'm not joking. Down here, that heat, that humidity during the day, it will fucking kill you. So, a little concentration camp update there. Oh, did you know Epstein went to one of Donnie's weddings, 1993? I think this is the picture from it, or maybe that's a different picture. I don't know. There was a picture going around the internet. I should have grabbed it. Photos confirm Epstein attended Trump's wedding in 1993. In a brief call with CNN on Tuesday, Donald Trump asked about the wedding photos, responded, "You've got to be kidding me," before repeatedly calling CNN fake news and then hanging up. The footage and photos CNN uncovered have not been widely... Oh, it's cut off. How do you explain that, Rubes? Oh, I know. He broke the friendship off later on when he found out Epstein was a sex trafficker. No, he always knew Epstein was a sex trafficker. That's why he liked him. Why do you think he loved him so much? You think it's because Jeffy was such an interesting character? Do you think that's what Donnie was interested in? Or could it have been the 13-year-old girls? I'm thinking that's what Donnie was interested in. Just a thought. I'm thinking that's why Donnie had such an affection for the man, which you could hear, by the way, feel, by the way, in the letter the Wall Street Journal posted. He loved Jeffy Epstein. Loved him. Why? Because Donnie liked to fuck young girls. That's why. Jeffy was his conduit to do that. That's simple. That's all the letter talked about. If you remember the letter, enigmas never age. And another wonderful secret. The letter wasn't about, how great a guy Jeff is. The letter is about what they had in common. And what they have in common is enigmas never age and another wonderful secret. That's what they have in common. That's why Donnie liked him. He said it in the letter. Here's Donnie late in the day. We just completed a massive deal with Japan, perhaps the largest deal ever made. Japan will invest in my direction $550 billion in the U.S., which we into the United States, which will receive 90% of the profits. The deal will create hundreds of thousands of jobs. There's never been anything like it. I'm going to stop right there. You know why? Because the deal's probably bullshit. How many deals has Donnie announced and they just don't fucking exist? So I take this with a grain of salt. And the number's always 550 billion. Do you know how much money that's over $500 billion? I'm not buying the numbers. Just like when he went to the Arab tour, when he told Bibi to fuck off for that week and went to the Arabs, he kept upping the number that he got the Arab nations to invest, 1 trillion, 3 trillion, 8 trillion. The number kept going up and up and up when these nations, don't even make that in GDP. You can't believe any numbers this fucker puts out. And he always goes way over the top. 550 billion? Again, that's over $500 billion, son. What we talking about here? We're talking bullshit. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. Not till I see it. All I see is GM about to close up fucking shop. That's all I see, son. I don't see the 550 billion. I don't see the tariff money doing jack shit except padding Donnie's bank account. That's all I see. And this, again, it's a perfect example of what I was saying earlier. Who the fuck incites an insurrection to overthrow their own government and then calls someone else treasonous? Yes, you cunts in the cult. Donnie, Stephen Miller, how fucking dare you ever point to anyone and say they're staging a coup, they're guilty of treason? Again, the founding fathers would have hung you motherfuckers. Are you fucking kidding me? But again, that's pure Hitler playbook. That's pure Satan playbook. Just project your crimes onto others. Literally. And that's what they do every day. And we fucking tolerate it. I am so sick of that. How fucking dare any of you people? The party of rubbing shit on the Capitol walls. That's what you are. Every single one of you. Because you can't fucking control yourself. All over a dictator. So yeah, Donnie literally staged the coup. And he's pointing to Obama, pointing to this person, pointing to that. They're insurrectionists. They're guilty of treason. They're staging a coup. No, Donnie, that's you're thinking of. I know you got dementia and that whole thing. And you're pumped up full of drugs. That's why the fucking hand's all fucked up. But Donnie, that's you. You're guilty of treason, espionage, rape, fraud, defamation, and much, much more. That's you, Donnie. And that's what you all have your name on. That have your name on it. An abject fucking criminal. And you got your name on the worst criminal, the one that's called the Antichrist, the literal one. You got a way of picking them, son. Picking that one, no, that's going to get you an extended stay in a place called the Lake. That's the problem with keeping your name on this motherfucker. That's the difference. Much more perilous. Here we go. Donnie was talking about think tanks for a second. These think tanks, they build buildings for people that think. And it's really not thinking. It's a little bit of combination of thinking, but it's something you sort of have or you don't have. I guess Donnie's trying to say you don't need a building and a tank for thinking. Either you can think or you can't. Like that's in his child's mind. I don't even know. I think he's talking about Powell or Obama, or I don't fucking know. All I know is this man is fucking, he's a vegetable. Who the fuck would say something like that? I don't even know what to say about it. And we're at the end, finally. Here's an event he did later on at night. Trump holds reception with members of Congress. It was on C-SPAN. And it looked like this. God, he looks like shit. Jesus Christ. Trump coaches Republicans to say Obama cheated on the election every time they're asked about Epstein. That's literally what he was saying. He was saying in his own way, every time they bring up Epstein, just say Obama cheated. Obama cheated. He cheated. He kept repeating this over and over. I wish I could play the clip for you. I mean, again, a totally cringe moment. Another moment where a fucking pedophile is talking to all of us and the world at large and saying, here's how we stop get them talking about my pedophilia. We bring up Obama and cheating. You know what that tells me? When Donnie repeats Obama cheated 17 times, that tells me Donnie cheated. Because Donnie is naught but inversion of reality and projection. So again, he was literally telling the audience, telling the people there, members of Congress, every time they bring up Epstein, just say Obama cheated. One more time, you have Jeff Epstein's best fucking friend trying to deflect away from it to the point he makes public statements on video instructing congressmen and women how to lie about it. Just do what the rubes like. Bring up Obama. And then they'll just keep going along with the evil. But again, let me just be honest. You people knew he was evil and Epstein's best friend years ago. You voted for it again anyway. That's on your head. Guaranteed. Lest you start walking the other way. And that's what I would do, son. And when he offers you that mark, you better say no. Get your name off of all this right now. I can't express how cringe it is to watch Epstein's best friend try and convince people on camera to stop talking about Epstein. And that he's going to lock people up. And then he takes it so far as he's instructing Congress members how to lie for him. So I guess what I'm saying is you people never cared about the children that have your name on this. That's a lie. You don't give a fuck about Jesus, church, none of it. You just care about the evil that you're participating in. And however that succeeds, you're down. That's going to cost you. And if you take the mark, you're just done. Forever. So you cannot take it, and I'm very tired, people. I must go. So as always, remember, if you'd like to help, if you'd like to make this happen more often, the PayPal will be at the top of the comment section. I put a lot of work into this, and I would have rather gone to sleep tonight, but it's just too important and too many abominations took place. Therefore, I'm here. So if you'd like to help support this thing so we can do it more, I would appreciate it. And everyone that has already helped, thank you so much. You don't even understand what you've done. Have a wonderful evening until the next episode.